Today I am excited to show you something really cool that can take flabby arms and tone them up completely. I am going to go through about 8 or 9 different exercises. So some people are not going to be able to do certain movements right away. I am going to start really small and then increase from there. I want you to select the ones that make sense for you and your current fitness level. When I do my workouts, I am not very structured because I get bored really easily with exercises. I think it is important to switch it up. I am going to show you a series of exercises that you can pick or choose from to fit into your daily routine. Welcome to Human Health Zone, a fan channel created purely and only to give credit to Dr. Berg, DC, whose extensive research and health insights inspire the information we share. If you want to keep learning how to naturally support your body and improve your physical health, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as we age, the muscles in our arms start to atrophy and lose their shape. But there's a hidden tissue surrounding your arm that holds the real secret to tightening everything up, and I will reveal exactly what that is and how to target it near the very end of this video. So you need to stick around. The fascia that surrounds the arm is this tissue that was recently identified as being way more important than what we originally thought. Fascia is like saran wrap. It surrounds our entire body like a wet suit, but not just on the outside. It goes in the different layers of muscles, around the nerves, and around the organs. It really gives the shape of the arm, and around your whole body it holds everything together. It also shares some of the forces that you put on your body when you exercise. When you stimulate the fascia, you actually cause collagen synthesis or rebuilding effect. What we want as we age is to thicken that collagen layer and make it so it can tighten everything up really nicely. In the past, people have talked mainly about stretching techniques for the arms, but today we are going to focus more on a strengthening technique. In this video, we are not just going to focus on the primary muscles like the bicep and the triceps. The biceps cause your arm to bend one way, and the tricep extends your arm the other way. We are not just going to focus on those muscles, even though those are the primary movers of the arm. There are a lot of other associated supportive muscles that have to be toned as well. We will handle the primary muscles, all the secondary and supportive muscles, and the fascia all with one specific type of exercise. This exercise is very safe on the joints. It is going to produce a lot of strength, reshape your arm, and it is going to help put tone in the arm. It is not going to involve a lot of expensive equipment or even going to the gym. From what I have evaluated, I think this is the best exercise for the arms that you can do hands down. Most of the exercises we're going to talk about are isometric exercises. Now, what is an isometric exercise? It is an exercise that involves increasing tension in the muscle without lengthening or shortening the muscle. If we want to stimulate the primary muscles, the secondary muscles, the associated supporting muscles, and the fascia, we want to add as much tension as we can to make changes in the arm. These exercises might really appear to be very simple on the surface, but wow, they really make you sore. We have the isometric exercise, and then we have another exercise when you contract your muscle. This is called a concentric movement. When you extend the muscle and you lengthen the muscle, that is called an eccentric movement. Some of these exercises that we're going to show you are going to involve this eccentric motion, lengthening the muscle very slowly under tension. Why do we want to do that? Because it produces very fast results. It is very safe on the joints, and it is fairly easy to do versus going to gym and doing a two-dimensional exercise where you're only going to work those primary movers and not everything else. As far as the equipment for the exercises, it would be great if you had a simple resistance band. There is also going to be another piece of equipment that you may want to get that is not that expensive called an isometric band. I am also going to demonstrate a few things on suspension trainers or gymnastic rings. I personally like those, but you do not really need to do these exercises on them. You can just use a suspension trainer. And even if you do not have any of those, I'm going to still show you what to do without using anything, just using your body weight. Before we dive into the exact movements, I want to share a quick but important health tip. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. So always consult a licensed doctor for diagnosis or treatment. Now, sometimes when people are working on their body, they ignore their internal organs. There's a special type of purified bile salt, often referred to as TUDCA, that helps to clean the liver, the gallbladder, and the tubes connecting between the two. One indication that you might need some bile salt support is a full sensation underneath the right rib cage that sometimes refers up to the right shoulder or upper trap area. This bile salt basically thins the bile sludge and greatly assists in the digestion of fats, which takes the load off your liver. In this first exercise, it is real simple. You put a resistance band around your neck and you extend your arm outward. You hold it in this position where you are bent over for 20 seconds and do 3 sets of that. This is primarily going to work the back of the arm. This next one I really like as well, because you can actually put this band right on top of your door and then bring it down halfway and hold that position. This is an isometric exercise to really also build the back of the arm. For all of these exercises, just to make it really easy, I would hold them for a count of 20 if you can. If not, do it less. Like do 10 seconds and then with a 10-second rest, and just do it 3 different times. But here's the one thing that might shock you about your current routine. If you are just lifting weights up and down, you are missing out on overcoming isometrics. Overcoming isometrics are where we are trying to push or pull against an immovable object. That way the amount of resistance against your body is always equal to the amount of force you are putting into it. The anterior chain is all the muscles on the front part of the body. The posterior chain is all the muscles on the back part of your body, and the lateral chain is all the muscles on the side of the body. There are 3 really cool isometric exercises that you can do to maximize your tension in your muscles to really tone those arms. We start off with our squeezing plank where we get into a hollow body position, and then into a plank. That is our yielding isometric aspect. But then, if we squeeze the floor between our hands and our feet, you can really feel your core going nuts. The amount of work in your muscles is dramatically increased. You can also do the same thing for your backside of your body with a squeezing table bridge. We have our shoulders packed down and back, and then we lift up. Then again, we squeeze the floor together between our feet and our hands. Your hamstrings and your glutes are going absolutely crazy to make that happen. The first couple times I did that, my hamstrings cramped up really quickly. So feel free to apply a little bit less force the first time you try that. Here is another exercise I really like. We are going to take a band underneath your feet, and you're going to pull up your arm halfway. This is going to work the bicep. This is called an isometric bicep curl. If you want to feel a burn like never before, pay close attention to this next part. This is called an eccentric movement, where we're going to take some weight. You can use a dumbbell or a bar. And then you're going to bring it up and slowly bring it back downward, lengthening the bicep. This is going to work your front part of your bicep. This might look pretty easy, but it is not, and you're going to feel really sore after you do it. I would recommend doing this, maybe starting out only 5 times, but the key is to let it down really slow and gradually. For this next one, you are going to need something called an isometric band. You can get these online. They are not that expensive, and you are going to be doing an isometric push, pushing your arms over your head. This is another arm exercise that kind of graduates into working your shoulders as well. When doing these, you must employ the position, tension, resistance principle. Do not just jump in and go. Instead, take your time setting up for position to make sure everything is where you want it to be. You've got good alignment because a lot of isometrics are full body exercises. Get your elbows in good position and your hands in good position. Then proactively engage the muscles you want to be working, and then finally apply the resistance against the handles or whatever equipment you are using. This ensures that you have proper position, but also good tension control in the muscles you want to be using. If you apply the resistance too quickly, it is a little bit harder to get that stuff really dialed in once you are already working. Stability is also a very important factor because you are only as strong as you are stable. If you are really fighting to stabilize your body during an exercise, that is less energy and effort you can put into actually working the muscles. If you notice that when you apply force against your feet, they're coming in, or you are on a narrow, unstable surface, I highly recommend running a strap or the equipment you are using underneath some sort of platform like an aerobic step or a plyo box. Now you're going to have a lot more stability with the straps, and your feet are on a very stable platform. They're not getting pulled inwards or outwards, and you can really put a lot more force directly into the muscles without worrying about compromises to your stability. You might think lifting heavy weights is the only way to build strength, but this next principle changes everything. Do not forget that the whole point of any strength training endeavor is to adequately work the muscles, not to necessarily lift a weight or move the cable around. The same is true for isometrics. Your goal is not to put as much force as possible into your handles. The goal is to contract the muscles as hard as possible. You may find that this is going to be easier if you do not try to always have your maximum absolute amount of force that you are applying into your equipment. Give yourself permission to only apply 75 or 80% of the effort you have. You do not need to max out all the time. Focus on contracting your biceps and your back very hard, as opposed to trying to just pull on the straps. That way you are putting your effort into creating a stronger stimulus in the muscle itself versus just trying to see how hard you can pull against the handle, which might lead to all sort of compensation in your technique. In this video, you might want to use a suspension trainer. They are a little bit less expensive than gymnastics rings. This is a killer exercise as you get into a push-up position. You are not just fighting gravity. You are fighting your arms from going out, going forward, and going back. This is the ultimate exercise to build up all those additional support muscles that are not the primary movers, but are secondary, as well as the fascia. You will find that if you do this, your arms are going to get really sore, and you are going to create some serious toning. If you are not able to do it in this horizontal position right off the bat, then you can do it a little more angled. Just raise up the rings, so it is a little bit easier as you work into it. I like this because you are working more of the arm than if you were just to do a standard plank push-up. Finally, here's the answer to the question I asked you earlier. The hidden tissue that holds the secret to tightening your arms is indeed the fascia. By using these isometric and eccentric exercises, you're not just building the muscle, you're actually triggering collagen synthesis in the fascia itself, thickening that wet suit layer around your arm so it holds everything in tight and prevents that sagging look. There's one last exercise that is a little bit more difficult, but if you can work yourself up to it, maybe do it where your feet are touching the ground, you're going to create some serious tension on the entire arm, your shoulder, and your back. It might not look very hard, but it is difficult and creates serious soreness. What we are trying to do is maximize the tension in the arms using these isometric exercises. Now that we went through this, go ahead and pick out some exercises. You might have to order some bands to do these exercises, but I think you're going to really see the results if you can apply some of these to your workouts. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. If you personally relate to the struggle of trying to tone flabby arms, or if you have tried these types of exercises before, please leave a comment below and share this video with anyone you know who might need to hear it. Finally, we love building a community here. So let us know in the comments which city or country you are watching from right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.